This video is proudly sponsored by Readly, but more on that and details of a special offer later on. Hi everybody, hope you're well. So we have just returned back from our holiday down in the New Forest. It very nearly didn't happen actually, because some very nice person managed to tap my debit card whilst it was in my wallet whilst I was out shopping just a few days ago, and managed to empty my account in £39 increments. The bank were awful. It took them 2.5 hours to sort it out. In all that time they didn't freeze the card, and my bank account just got drained at £39 increments. So it very nearly didn't happen, but thankfully the day before we were due to go away I got a full refund, and also a new debit card was delivered in the post. So we were able to go away. Now I'm just going to add a little point. I've filmed bits of the holiday going away, but I haven't filmed everything that we have done, and that's because it's our holiday, we want to enjoy it, and I don't want the camera to intrude whilst we're going away. So I'm going to try something different. I've filmed little bits, and I'm going to add a narrative to what we got up to, and also give you some top tips of things to do whilst you're away down in the New Forest. So without further ado, let me tell you what happened. Well, the trip down was very successful. It's the first time I've really taken that car on a long towing trip. I say long, greater than 100 miles. Everything up to that point has only been in short distances, so I really didn't know what the fuel economy was like with that car. But thankfully, it turned out to be about 23 miles to the gallon. Now, some of you are going to shudder with that, but when you consider that the best I can get out of that car going down a motorway at 50 miles an hour is 31 miles to the gallon, I think you can understand that actually the difference between the two isn't that great. And to be fair, it wasn't that bad. We topped up before we went away, and it just used just about a quarter of a tank. So I was very, very happy with how that went. So the setup on the first day, as you can imagine, was pretty hot, but we managed to get it set up. We did it quite slowly because we were all very, very hot, and we got everything set up. And this, of course, was the first time that we put that new awning up that we are borrowing from Isabella. But don't worry, there's going to be a full video about that one in a few weeks' time. So really, the first day of the holiday is not the day that you set up and head on down. The first day is the day after, and that's where we pick up the story. Well, the reality is we did very little on that very first day. The entire day we just sat down and chilled. We did very, very little. In the evening we had our Katsu Curry, which is a recipe I've been perfecting now over a number of months, and I've got it absolutely bang on. And you know what? It's actually an ideal meal to have when you go away. Bring the sauce with you, buy some pre-breaded chicken and some jasmine rice, do it all up in the microwave and in the oven, heat the sauce up, and you end up with a fantastic Katsu Curry. After dinner, we decided to pop down to the beach, Avon Beach, which is just down the road from the site. And that's when Chloe decided that she'd make a break for it and start swimming towards the Isle of Wight. Thankfully, she did decide to come back, and as you can see from this footage, she really did look very at home in the water. What a momentous occasion. Such an accomplishment for this young, intrepid explorer. It keeps gagging on the seawater. She's doing it all right. Jesus. Such an accomplishment. And as I'm sure we can agree, she looks so at home in the water. A true spirit. A wondrous adventurer. And whilst we were there, we decided to book a table at the Noisy Lobster, which, as you can see, is situated right on the seafront at Avon Beach. We booked a table for the following evening, which transpired to also coincide with our silver wedding anniversary. You know, it's hard to put into words what being married for 25 years actually means to me and what it means to Angela. We've had some really lovely times together. We've had some tricky times. We've had some testing times. We've had some very upsetting times. But by and large, we've had some good times together, and we've always been there for each other, and I hope we continue to always be there for each other going forward. It's been tricky over the past couple of years, no doubt, but this was an opportunity for us to celebrate our 25 years of married bliss. So that evening we popped out to the Noisy Lobster just off of Avon Beach, and we had our seafood platter. Chloe didn't want any of it, she wanted a burger, so of course she ate that burger, but Angela and I had some incredible food. We had lobster, octopus, prawns, scallops, clams, oh, all sorts. It was absolutely fantastic. I had a non-alcoholic mojito, Angela had a porn star martini, and then we finished the evening off with some light bites as well to finish off the evening meal. And then we finished the whole evening off with a lovely stroll along the beach, whilst Chloe tried to make a break for it once again to the Isle of Wight. And at the end of the day, that was our wedding anniversary. We retired back to the caravan and enjoyed some time together playing a game of Uno. Maybe this is a good time for me to talk about the sponsor of this video, Readly, because right now I'm trying to find some inspiration for dinner tonight. So I've actually logged onto the app right now, and I'm looking through BBC Good Food in the back catalogue for inspiration on things that we can cook on the Kadak later on this evening. So whilst I carry on and have a hunt for food ideas, why don't I tell you more about the sponsor of this video? Now, you may have heard me talk about this before, but Readly is a digital magazine subscription service that has 6,000 plus titles in 35 different categories of magazines that you've heard of and publications that you've probably never even come across. We've been using Readly now since 2018, I think it is, and we've been using it extensively whilst we're in the caravan, whilst we're on the move, and whilst we're at home. In fact, it was Readly that Chloe used whilst we're on holiday to find the day out in Bournemouth, and that was purely her searching through the back catalogues of various publications to find things to do on days out in Bournemouth. And as I already mentioned, I was using Readly to give me inspiration for things to cook whilst on the barbecue. Thank you to BBC Good Food for giving me the top tip of the halloumi skewers, which I did on the Kadak that evening. In fact, it's such a good recipe, I'm going to cook it again and again. So simple to create, but my goodness, they were very, very tasty. Now, Readly is a fantastic app if you are on the move. Not only because it's digital and it saves space, means you don't need to carry all your publications with you, but also because there's key features in the app that allow you to use it whilst you're away. With Readly, you can have offline reading, which means you can download all your titles that you want to read whilst you're away and not rely on Wi-Fi or phone network data. Perfect, because where we were staying, we didn't have the best phone reception, and the Wi-Fi, quite frankly, was a bit hit and miss. But all our titles were downloaded before we went away, which meant that we could read them offline without a worry for using any data whilst we're on site. And of course, I mentioned it earlier on, but you're going to save a lot of space and weight because you don't need to carry around 6,000 titles with you. It's just all on your phone. The application is free to download from the App Store and the Google Play Store, and it can be used on your phones or tablets, regardless whether it's Android or Apple. Like I said, we've been using Readly now for many, many years. It's our go-to app whilst we're out and about. But look, don't take my word for it. Give it a go yourself. In the description below, there's a link that you can click on and you can try Readly for free for 2 months. And thereafter, it's £9.99 per month. And if you want to cancel, you can do that at any time. There is no contract in place whatsoever. You're not reading Readly at all. You're on bloody Tinder. Swiping left. I saw that.
No, because that's how you turn the page, you twat.
I know that's how you turn the page, but you're clearly on Tinder.
No.
You're looking for an upgrade? Or downgrade? So, are you looking for a downgrade?
A downgrade.
Wow, rude. Now, whilst we were away, we asked Chloe to find something that she really wanted to do. So on the Readly app, she went through some back catalogues of magazines and she found a couple of things that she really wanted to go and see. And one of those things was the Oceanarium at Bournemouth, where she could see some sharks and other marine life as well. So we decided, let's head on down there and spend the day down in Bournemouth. Is that right? Yeah, that is Bournemouth. Yeah, we're in Bournemouth. And we're off to the Oceanarium. Parking was a bit fun, tighter than a tight thing, but we're in. Let's walk on down. Now, to be clear, the Oceanarium is quite small, but with the tickets that you get, you can return all day and come back and forth as you see fit. So if you want to walk around it and you've missed the feeding times, don't worry, you can come back later on during the day. And coincidentally, for a family of 3, it cost us £30 for a family ticket, which I think is really quite reasonable. But of course, after visiting the Oceanarium, we had to do the obligatory thing of being on the seafront, and that was have some fish and chips. And of course, Angela and her unique style gave us the one-word review from fish and chips that we got from Harry Ramsden's.
Mediocre.
Hype over substance?
Yeah.
So there's more hype than...
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiny bit of fish.
Mm-hmm.
Soggy chips. Crap ordering system.
Yep.
And there we go, that's our 2-second review of Harry Ramsden's here in Bournemouth Beach.
Of course, Chloe wasn't really in the mood for any fish and chips. What she wanted to go for, though, was a Mr. Whippy. And just behind us, just on the way back to the car, there was a Mr. Whippy machine ready to go. And by Jove, it was the biggest ice cream I think we've ever seen. Now, because of the mediocre fish and chips that we had during the day that weren't particularly big, we were still quite peckish in the evening, but we didn't want anything too much. So Chloe and I decided that we would make our own burgers, and it gave me a great opportunity to use a new toy which I bought 18 months ago.
Right, so anyway, Chloe and I are going to make some burgers. This is going to give us a good opportunity to give this thing a go, which I bought 18 months ago, and haven't used it really much at all. I used it once and I discovered one fatal flaw with it. That is, the meat gets stuck to this and you're supposed to use parchment paper, which I haven't got. So instead we're going to improvise and we're going to use a sandwich bag. This could go horribly wrong. So our recipe for tonight is minced beef, 20% lean fat meat beef, oh crikey, which has been in the fridge for the past couple of days. We're going to put salt and pepper into that and onion granules, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So what I've decided is, because I haven't got any parchment paper with me, I'm putting a piece of the meat in a sandwich bag, put that in there, and let's see if this works, shall we? You reckon up the bag about there?
Yeah, that would be better.
So then when I squish it, it's got room to move.
Yeah.
See? Good thinking, Batman. This is when I go through the cabinet of the caravan. Hey! It only ruddy works. Oh. And I can reuse this bag over and over.
Perfect.
Hey, that's alright. Makes a decent size as well.
Yeah.
To complement our burgers, we're making some Harissa Ketchup. So we're using, thanks for that, Chloe, thank you. Harissa paste. And we're going to mix that with some ketchup to go inside the burgers. We put Harissa in.
So that's about a teaspoon's worth.
Teaspoon of Harissa and a good dollop of ketchup.
And mix.
Oh, it smells good. Ketchup. If you mix this together and have something like halloumi fries.
Yeah, that's good.
Good?
Tasty.
Let's see how this works.
And I must say that burger was very yummy indeed. It wasn't an awfully big burger, to be honest with you, because as you saw in the footage, the burger's reduced down to absolutely tiny, minuscule burger bites, I think is the way you could describe it. Anyway, once we cleared up, washed up and put everything away, it was time for a game of Uno, a competitive game which I always win at.
Who the bloody hell? Did you shuffle these?
Yeah, not very well though.
Who wants to start? I'm not starting again.
Ange, why don't you start?
Huh?
Oh, okay, it's me. Hang on a minute. Skidoo.
Phew.
Phew.
Thanks for you.
Yellow.
Uno. I'm going to blow my
Uno.
brains out. 2, 3, 4.
So it's yellow, love.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yellow.
Is it?
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
Please keep going until you get a colour change and change it to anything that's not yellow. Because that's the last carbon on
I'm
this.
out.
I had 2 colour changes.
I don't like this game.
Go. Right, let's head back now to the holiday where we're going to head out to Christchurch for the day. But it doesn't quite go to plan. Yes, the day started so well, but actually in the end it was cut short quite quickly. There was 3 reasons for that really. First of all, I forgot the batteries for this camera, so I had very little option to record anything on this camera, but that's okay because I got a phone. I pulled my phone out and went to start recording, and because it hasn't been communicating with iCloud, it wasn't able to offload all my footage, which meant the phone ran out of storage space. So consequently, we couldn't carry on filming for the rest of the day, but that's okay. Angela and Chloe were filming on my behalf, which was absolutely fantastic. But it was just then, whilst we were on the ferry going to Mudford, that things started to go a bit wrong. You see, Chloe was complaining that she was feeling a little bit sick, which I thought was a bit strange because the water itself was really calm and there was no rocking in the boat whatsoever. Whilst we arrived at Mudford, she was immediately very, very sick and she felt awful. So we took her onto the beach, we got her some water, we got 3 drinks, I think it was, for £15. So we got some water, told her to sip it, take her time, and sure enough, she brought it all back up again. She was not feeling great, and in fact, she was getting worse. It was then that Angela realised that in actual fact she may be suffering from sunstroke or heat stroke, whatever the correct terminology is, I'm not really sure. So we decided that we would have to take the ferry back to Christchurch, which was another 45 minutes back from Mudford to Christchurch, get her in the car and bring her back to the caravan. And all I can say is thank God we had air conditioning. You see, the caravan was already at 21 degrees anyway because we left the dog in the caravan. I didn't think it was right or fair to be dragging a dog around the hot streets of Christchurch, so we left him in the caravan. And in fact, that's where he wanted to stay. He didn't want to go outdoors at all. So the caravan was already cool. So we were able to just put Chloe straight in the caravan in 21 degrees, cool, dark, give her water and try and keep her hydrated. And over the next day and evening, she was violently sick, but she did make a good recovery the following day and surprisingly was very, very hungry. So what this really did mean for us is it made us consider packing up a little bit early because we didn't want to pack away during the hot heat of the day because we were in the middle of a heat wave. We decided that we were going to go in the evening. So we started to close things down and pack things down throughout the day and take it easy, making sure that everything was put away properly, but also not stressing or rushing. Surprisingly, it took us 5 hours to pack the caravan away, not because there was lots to do, just because we did a job, sit down and try to cool down. In fact, it took us over 2 hours to put the awning away itself because just moving around and doing anything, you're just dripping with sweat, and that's not really very nice for anybody. And we were determined to not lose our temper whilst we were putting things away. But away we did, and we left the site at 6 o'clock and we managed to get back to storage at 8 o'clock in the evening. I phoned ahead and I spoke to the owner here at the storage yard and I said would it be alright if we turned up late, and he was absolutely fine. God bless him, he was really helpful for us to get back late that evening. But surprisingly, we still got caught in traffic, but it was so nice being in a cool car all the way back home. Finally, the last thing I'm going to mention is the barbecues were banned on the last day of us being there. The wardens came round and hand-delivered a note saying that barbecues were banned and kayaks should only be used if they're above a certain height off the floor. Very useful information if you're heading off whilst we're in drought conditions. Be mindful of that, and be also considerate that if you are using anything like a gas propane cooker or any cooking source outside, just make sure that you do have some sort of fire prevention with you. Keep a bucket or keep something with you that you can immediately tip over something to put the fire out. Grass fires really do go quick. It only takes a spark, only takes something hot, and it's away. So please be mindful of that and just be a bit more careful about leaving things on this tinder dry grass. So there we go, that's it from me today. Many thanks for watching. I've got a couple of great videos coming up for you very soon, but modification I've done here in the caravan and also the review of that awning. So look out for those in the next couple of weeks. So that's it from me today. Many thanks for watching. Please do hit the subscribe, hit the notification. If you can do all of that, I'll see you in the next upload. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.